What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of The Savage Land. Welcome to another episode of Pallet Picks. And today on Pallet Picks, I actually have two figures that I just want to go over. Not seriously a hardcore review. It's actually a two-part to this episode. But I got the Jada Toys Ryu in last week, if you've seen my toy haul video on Soapbox. And I also have the Mafex, just plain version, I guess you would say, Magneto. Two great figures. But when I received these figures, of course, everybody's already reviewed them over and over. There's plenty of other ones. I believe D Amazing probably has a review on both of them, and etc. But I'll still go over them a little bit. But the idea when I seen both of them, and of course everybody else is thinking Jada Toys with the Street Fighter and Capcom license lines doing the Mega Man. Now you can start to build Marvel vs. Capcom 2 or 1 or Marvel's Superheroes or any type of clash up you want. Mostly on the Marvel side thus far, but Jada will be providing a lot of the Capcom. If they got Capcom, you gotta know they're gonna want to try to aim for Darkstalkers and whoever else that like Strider. Maybe some things in the future for that. Of course, they got a green light because the Jada Street Fighter toys are really good. So we'll go over Ryu and Magneto real quick, and then I'll just go through in my collection what I'm pretty much substituting or waiting for to complete this Marvel vs. Capcom, which you probably can never complete, because I was going through the list of characters, and that's why Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is so amazing. I think it's like 36 characters, 40 characters. I mean, even Blackheart in the background, which who knows if Marvel Legends will make that. I had the Toy Biz one that's not really mobile, but he looks great. I always did like that figure, but he could never stand up. Good thing he has a tail. But we'll start off first. We'll go with the one who has the most going on with it. We'll start off with Magneto. This Magneto, I like the Age of Apocalypse Magneto from Mafex. Great figure. Of course, with the Mafex articulation, he's going to have a ball-jointed neck and head. He has a great butterfly joint, double jointed arms, wrist hinge, swivel at the wrist. Also, no thigh cuts or boot cuts with Mafex, but definitely a great double jointed knee. They swivel, the thigh cut is almost kind of in the hip, and it swivels great. Of course, it has the drop down legs with this Magneto, and it's just a great moving figure. Toe hinge on there, of course, great ankle rocker. I don't know, I guess all the other parts work so well, you don't need a thigh cut or boot cut, and I don't ever really complain with Mafex with that. I'm cool, I can make it happen with it. But the most best thing on this figure is the cape. Almost kind of has like an inside, almost kind of looks like, I wouldn't necessarily say velvet, but I don't know, it looks really premium and regal. Different from the outside of the cape, and that's what I love about Mafex. For one, they have the best wired capes with fabric, but each cape has its own identity. I don't care if the character is the same. That same character, if it's a different iteration of that character, they're gonna give it a different texture on his cape. I see that a lot with Superman's, Batman's, and now here with Magneto. So I can't complain about this figure. He has some thralled out hands, some kind of like gripping magnetic hands, and then he has two fists, and then he has two kind of like I want to say indentation, or maybe like pointing finger hands. I don't know, but there's three kind of like sprawled out hands, almost kind of gripping. With Magneto, you're gonna have a lot of, I guess you would say, jazz hands, but also with his effects, he has almost kind of like that charge up effect for his magnetism, but the hands are already planted in there, so all you have to do is really pretty much put it on the arm. Far as the other ones, far as like the energy, like magnetic looking shields, I really don't like that. You have to put it in with the fist, like an indentation, but it's hard for it to stay on. You really have to press it up there. Maybe put some sticky tack. The other ones is vice versa. Maybe like the magnetic beams, like he's got the two big magnetic beams around his fist. Once you put those fists in there, you're almost going to need a pair of tweezers to pluck them out. I put them in several times, and each time I had to dig in there and get them. Far as his head sculpts, he comes with an unmasked helmet, a helmeted head with a gritting look, and then he comes with a helmet also that does not fit on the unmasked head. You just kind of carry it. So great diorama fodder. And what else? Oh, my favorite one, the blacked out mask that looks like, whenever I see that mask, that blacked out face, and all you see is the white eyes, I just think of Fatal Attraction, when he snapped and ripped Wolverine's adamantium out of him. I believe that was Wolverine Volume 2, issue 76, but it was part of the Fatal Attraction ran across several comic books, but he was angry. I think Wolverine slashed him across the ribs, and Magneto just really let him have it. Basically, Wolverine was ripped apart so bad, Jean Grey had to hold him back together with her psychic powers, like his actual physical organism body, like had to hold it together, skin, cells, everything. So pretty dope event, and that's why Wolverine has the bone claws, which we'll get later on into this too. But great figure. As far as Mafex, I love Mafex. Will I have a run with them? Will the run end? I don't know. Until they pump me something bad and kind of pump a consecutive bad product, I think I still will buy Mafex. So great Magneto. Next, let's do Ryu from Jada Toys. Ryu, great figure. Is he better than Fei Long? No, but he is good. I think Fei Long is just a better figure. For one, they have quite some slight differences. Fei Long has that sock cut that Black Widow, I believe, said she has. I'm gonna have to look at that figure, but it's lower than a boot cut. It's right at the ankle there, and it's like an ankle sock cut, and it works out great, man. But Fei Long I like a little bit better, but Ryu's cool. He has the double balled hinge neck. He has two different head sculpts, of course, with Jada. They don't have a lot of accessories with it, which is cool. The figure is dope within itself. He has the Hadouken fireball or energy ball with his handprint in him. So if you get close up on the camera, you can kind of see that in there. But that was pretty dope. I don't know if you guys can see that, but he also has Hadouken hands, and he has two balled up fists. That's it as far as his hand change. But double jointed arms, ball at the abdominal area and ball at the waist, double jointed knees, thigh cut. Yeah, he doesn't have any cut down at the bottom. Let me see if he has an ankle cut. Oh, he's got that boot swivel too. Okay, well, not boot swivel, like an ankle swivel too. So I guess all of them come with that. But even so, though, I still think Fei Long is a better figure. As far as his gi, how that feels, soft, pliable material. His hair feels real soft. I remember the first time I opened him up a couple weeks ago. About a week ago, I opened him up, and I couldn't believe how soft his hair felt. Bandana tied around his head, or whatever that is, tied around the head, that's real soft and pliable too. So the verdict is out on Jada. Great toys. This Ryu is no different. I can't wait. Jesus Christ, why did I do that? I can't wait to get the rest of the Jada figures in, so I can start to complete this Marvel vs. Capcom roster, and that's what I want to go into now. Marvel vs. Capcom can be built by committee. It doesn't necessarily have to all fall on Marvel Legends to build that out. You can spread it around with Mafex, and then same thing with Jada. I can spread mine around with Storm Collectibles, and I'll tell you why too. And as far as the Street Fighter figures, and also with Jada just filling a large bill on the Capcom side. So we'll kind of go through the figures, and I'll kind of lean towards what I got going on. This is just for me. Maybe you want to do it a different way. But let's start with why you say with Street Fighter Storm Collectibles, because I believe Zangief is a larger than life character, especially when he's put into the Marvel vs. Capcom world. I think that gives him a little extra juice in my mind. That's how, if I was a comic book artist, that's how I would draw him. I would draw him larger than life, like a man bear almost. Because for one thing, with Ryu, he's a smaller character, but Ryu is almost like Dragon Ball Z. He shoots projectiles from his body. Okay, so he's already on a superhero type level. Zangief can put you in a combinations, throw you up in the air, but hey, there's some bad motherfuckers walking on planet Earth that can do that too. Mainly WWE wrestlers. So make him larger than life. He's got a little glow in the hand effects when I guess when he gets pissed off or whatnot, does that whirlwind. But I can see him standing a little bit bigger, huger, almost kind of like in hulking status, but not as big as a Hulk. And he wouldn't be in my collection because I use a Diamond Select Hulk for my 112 collection, so he's not going to be bigger than Hulk. One more character is E Honda, which I haven't got yet, and I need to get him. Larger than life. Well, the Blob almost type status. I'm thinking on that level in a Storm Collectibles scale coming down to Marvel Legends. So I think you could work him out too. Then you might say, well, what about Balrog or Sagat? Big boys, tall boys, but I don't think they need to be put in that matter. Sagat can shoot projectiles from his body, far as, you know, the tiger, when he goes to kick, there's a little boomerang projectile comes to. So Sagat has he has a mystique about himself where he can survive with that, you know. Far as Balrog, I know this is plain and simple as it could probably be, but I think he could be beefy, but not as big as Zangief. I think he has extraordinary hands. Of course, you said there's some people walking around on planet Earth with extraordinary hands, but he's supposed to be after Mike Tyson, which is almost like a superhero within himself. Never really a tall guy. Mike Tyson's about 5'10", and he was fighting motherfuckers 6 foot. But when he tapped that damn chin, it's something like you never ever seen in this world before, and especially live. I was a kid. I remember when the fights used to come on HBO in like 89, 90. When you see him tap somebody's chin, it was like nothing you ever seen. I've never seen nothing else like that. I've seen some knockouts in boxing, which knockouts in boxing have faded away, but you've never seen anything like Mike Tyson go at it on somebody's ass. And he doesn't have to do it long. So I think that's an extraordinary power within itself. I almost kind of put him in a category as a WWE wrestler, because even though wrestling is fake, they're larger than life characters within themselves. They make themselves up to superhero status. So I think Balrog can stay on the Jada side. But those two figures with Storm Collectibles, I would go with. So we got those out the way. Captain America, fucking stud. That 20th anniversary Captain America. This picture right here, like, you'll watch this picture right here go into a cartoon and look at Captain America. But Captain America is a stud. You can look at him go into a cartoon in this picture, and he looks like he's comic book ready, man. So he just looks fucking good. I don't care if he has pins in his arms. That's a figure I want to keep around. I think that 20th anniversary cap is the best cap out there. But you might think otherwise. But as far as aesthetic, the way he looks, and he moves good enough for me, he could use a butterfly joint, but I get busy with him regardless. Maybe if it gets updated, maybe I'll get one, because I'm satisfied with him. But 20 years cap a stud. Iron Man, as you can see here, this is the Marvel vs. Capcom Iron Man. I believe they came with the major ulcer, stomach ulcer bear. I don't know, but the one that came out last year with Riri, that is the Marvel vs. Capcom Iron Man. That'll serve you good for Marvel Legends. I wasn't crazy over this figure, but as far as the aesthetic of it, that's what that was. Now, as far as the 2-pack Hasbro Pulse exclusive, that's the canon that he carries from Marvel vs. Capcom 2. So they be knowing they they be sewing shit up together. And if you're after this batch of stuff right here, then that's what you're gonna try to go get, that cannon. I think that cannon was on sale not too long ago. If it's open, I'm still gonna get that Iron Man, because the Iron Man is decent too, but you need that cannon to go with. Same thing for War Machine. I don't know if that War Machine came in a wave, but there's a War Machine with that same deco as Iron Man from that Ursa Major bear wave. So get that, you'll have the War Machine. The Thanos is the King Thanos. He's matching up almost to a T with that. I think the little cowl part on the Marvel vs. Legends kind of sticks off the head with this one. This Thanos is more closer, but to me, that's the best Thanos. I have about 3 or 4. I have the Walmart exclusive, which doesn't really kind of fit the bill, but he's over there with the villain shelf, and this Thanos right here will go with my MVC2 shelf. Of course, you got Blackheart back there. That's the Toy Biz one. Just for standing up and posing, that Blackheart will work. Should he be bigger and taller? Yes. I don't know if that he grows or not. And that's the beautiful thing about Marvel vs. Capcom. Like who the fuck thinks about Blackheart? Like, come on, man. Osuma Garoth, the big eyeball. Like, why would you put that in there? But I'm glad you put that in there. It's awesome. The cable is from the Rebel Tech cable. I actually like that cable, and that's the only figure I'll ever get for Rebel Tech. I don't want all the other shit, because I had to learn how to play with him. Instead of pulling him out, you have to keep him in. Okay, squeeze him, put him in a position. But once he gets in position, he gets in that dope ass, like, I've never seen an action figure line up with pistols like that. And then close, he can cross his hands and go, pow, wow, just like that. I mean, that Cable is dope. And he's actually, that is, I guess they were mimicking Marvel versus Capcom. I think the only thing he's kind of missing, there's a few things different, but he has the 2 X's right here. He has the straps. He has a blue crotch when that Marvel vs. Capcom. He has a yellow crotch almost where the draws at the growing area is. And then the boots are different too. So it's close enough, but it's not that. But you know what I'm trying to get at, because Marvel Legends hasn't produced a Cable like that. So Marvel Legends, you have a open chance. We need a new Cable, to be honest with you. We need a new one. And super articulated too. So won't you produce that, Marvel Legends? But this Spider-Man is just random Spider-Man I got up here. The Spider-Man in Marvel vs. Capcom to me is a smaller Spider-Man, more like a teenager. So I got the Kid Buck Spider-Man up here, the blue and red. I also got the Love Triangle Wolverine here, which that is pretty much the time period this came, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 came out, or Marvel vs. Capcom came out, because they were using the voices for the soundbite from the show to do the video game. And so this Wolverine is pretty much that Wolverine. He has the black stripe going down the middle of the boot, blue and yellow suit. Also in that game, he has bone claws. Love Triangle Wolverine has bone claws. And really, be honest with you, that's like one of my best Wolverines. I love that Love Triangle Wolverine. Of course, we got the Ryu from Jada. Psylocke, if you want to use Mafex or Marvel, I only just have the Marvel one, but she'll do, just standing up. Of course, you got the Rogue Retro. I got standing right here with the brown coat from that era. She looks good. The new Cyclops, I chose to use him. You can use him or the Love Triangle 3-pack Cyclops, because Cyclops has on a brown coat before he fights in Marvel vs. Capcom, then he throws it off. So you can use either one, but I'm going with the new Cyclops with the cell shading on it. It kind of fits, kind of like video game aesthetic almost. It's more of that, I think, than a cartoon, because video games are more pixelated. So that little bit of brown, which I never wipe mine off, I just left that shit on there. And then I have the 2-pack Juggernaut from the 2-pack Target exclusive Colossus. With all of these characters up here, I have a mini Marvel vs. Capcom already. And there's more. I have Storm. I have more. So you can build. Just pick and choose. Like I said, I'm going between Storm Collectibles, Jada, Marvel Legends, Mafex, and I believe I can get the job done. Shit is already about done right here with all of these characters being great, and they're all from different toy lines. Like in that picture when I turned it into a cartoon, when it turns into a cartoon, you don't know where they come from. They just look like a cartoon cell, but those are all my action figures done with I get some program inside my phone with folder, and it turns them into a cartoon and pixelate them into that, man. So it's a beautiful thing. Oh, how could I ever forget about Remy LeBeau Mafex, which is the greatest Gambit ever. I was just looking at him and like, Jesus Christ, that is a beautiful figure. That's the figure that made me fall in love with Mafex. And if you're looking for Marvel vs. Capcom with sweeping stick moves and flying card moves, this is the Gambit you want right here. This is the dynamic Gambit right here. You'll never get another Gambit like this again, I believe, because I couldn't believe somebody put so much care and thought into a Gambit figure. So Mafex, that is Mafex's best figure to me. I love that Mafex Gambit. He is on point. The coat is almost more of an action figure than he is. So that is it pretty much, man. But I really enjoyed the Jada Toys Ryu. I think that's a great figure. Give a round of applause for that. I enjoyed the Mafex Magneto. Once again, a great figure. Give a round of applause for that. And a round of applause for just making Marvel vs. Capcom 2 actually come a reality. And Jada Toys is a huge part of that with the Capcom license. But we're gonna wrap it up. Just had to put that out there. I'm glad you guys tuned in for Pallet Picks. If you can, give me a like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on my Instagram at Geppetto910. Lowercase letters. I know when it pops up, it comes in caps. So put it in lowercase. That's just the font I'm using. I guess I got to switch it up and put it in lowercase. And with that being said, man, we do this for the love and beauty of action figures on the Savage Land. And with that being said, until the next time, God bless.